way teachers are looking at a quote-unquote inappropriate and sexual body part is unwelcome. Let's not even mention the victim blaming that comes with dressing provocatively, quote-unquote. Girls don't wear this, girls don't wear that. All because they think men can't control themselves around a woman wearing provocative clothing. If an underage girl is distracting a student, then the person that is distracted should be the one that's punished, because that is unwanted staring, and unwanted sexual staring is sexual harassment. And if wanted to, could be taken to the extent of legal action. Stop sexualizing young girls and start holding predators accountable.
And this one is personal for a lot of people. We're talking about dress codes here in Metro Atlanta, and the reaction to them is pretty strong. There's one specific middle school that's part of the APS district that has changed part of their dress code. It was actually done by a group of students who wanted to modify specific things in their dress code. And there's two things that they're talking about that are upsetting some people. One is the length of shorts. The other is how long your shirts have to be if you wear leggings.
A lot of people saying it's unfair to girls in particular because the style for boys just lends itself to longer shorts, and it's not the case for girls. And also the girls have to wear shirts over leggings that cover their back side. So some of the parents saying, you're giving the message to my daughter that somehow she's a distraction when she's just wearing what's comfortable to her.
Hello, I'm here today with Lizette Vega, who is president of the Board of Education of Alvord Unified School District. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm Lizette Vega and currently the president of the school board. I was actually a former Novi student as well. I graduated in 2015, and then I was elected onto the board in 2017, 2018, around there. So I've been on the board for about 3 years now. And I was reelected this last December, and so I have 4 years on my term.
When you heard about, or how did you find out about us changing the dress code?
So I actually haven't heard too much about the change. I know other schools are also looking into doing the same thing, but when I did hear that students were looking into changing the dress code, I wasn't surprised. I knew that eventually, while I was on the board, it was going to come up. But I know COVID hit, so students weren't in school, and so honestly I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah. How do you feel about change? Like, what's your opinion on it?
For change just in general?
Yeah.
I think it's needed. After a few years, you know, things happen, changes happen, and we need to reevaluate how things are done.
What effect do you feel the dress code, our current one, has on our students?
So I'm not too familiar with the current dress code for the school because I know the different high schools or the different schools have different dress codes. Mm-hmm. So I haven't heard from students about what it is now, and not sure how different it was when I was back in school.
Well, our dress code, it's pretty much you can't wear spaghetti straps off the shoulders, bare midriff, or I believe that's it. Yeah, just mainly those ones, and like halter tops and stuff like that. Do you feel like that's acceptable, or should we be more lenient?
So I don't think, because I'm not a student here anymore, it's not really for me to say, but I do think that if students have a problem with it and they don't think it's acceptable or that shouldn't be the dress code, then they should speak up. Definitely be able to have a conversation with the principals and admin, other students, maybe even parents, to kind of talk about it and determine together what should be acceptable and what shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. What problems do you think occurred due to our current dress code? Or when you feel like, how do you feel it could get in the way or can affect our students in a negative way?
Can you elaborate on that question? Not sure in what ways you mean.
Like how it could have a negative effect on our students? Like maybe with self-esteem or other areas?
By not changing the dress code?
Yeah, by keeping it the same.
Okay. Good question. I think that, you know, students are going to be worrying more about their wearing and not wearing and not, you know, their education, and that's what, you know, you're here for. for school, and that shouldn't be one of the worries on your mind, right? Like, is this going to be appropriate or not? But also, you should feel comfortable wearing what you're wearing, as long as you do it appropriately.
Yeah. How do you feel we could get parents and teachers to feel more open to the dress code changing and to change in general?
It's just about starting those conversations. I know that I think we're going to do some sort of forum with students and admin. I'm not sure about parents, but definitely you need to have those conversations about what it should look like, and I'm glad that students are speaking up.
Thank you for that. Why do you think our female students have a negative or have negative feelings towards our current dress code?
I'm not sure what those feelings may be, or because I'm not here, I'm not sure how much they're called out for the dress code, but it could be because, you know, the females have more variety of clothing, and there's more to say, like more rules on that than maybe the men or the guys in the school. But yeah, I'm not sure.
When you attended Norte Vista, was the dress code different, or did they handle dress coding people differently, or did you experience it yourself?
I never experienced it myself, but I know they were very strict on the dress code. Yeah, people would be called out for all sorts of things. And so that's why I said I wasn't surprised that, you know, people are speaking up about the dress code. I just wasn't sure that it was still the same or not. Not sure if it was still as strict.
How does it make you feel knowing that me and Christian, the person who put together this whole interview, got heavily, I guess you could say, harassed and kind of made fun of by our teachers and staff rather than supported?
So I wasn't aware that happened, but I think anytime a student wants, you know, their voices to be heard, that they should have the opportunity to do so. Just because you're students doesn't mean you don't have a voice. As a board member, I am the voice of my community, and that doesn't just include the parents, but also the students. I want to know what's happening, and I want to make sure that, you know, everything is being done for our students, you know, the best, that we have the best for our kids. So I wasn't aware of what happened, and I'm sorry to hear that, but you shouldn't feel like your voice should be silenced. You should be able to voice your concerns and opinions.
Thank you so much for coming and being open to doing this interview, because I feel like not many adults are willing to listen to what, I guess you could say, children have to say. So I do really appreciate you coming. And lastly, I want to ask, did my outfit distract you at all during this meeting?
Thanks for having me in the interview. And no, it did not. But as you were talking about this dress code, I'm not sure if you changed before the interview, but I'm like, this is something that you would be called out for.
Yeah.
Probably if you were in school. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You may be asking yourself, is this the end? Well, the answer is no. It's just the start. Think of it as the beginning of the end. I've gone through many interactions and a good majority seem to approve of the change. That's good to hear. But I'm not entirely surprised. After all, we are the home of the brave.
First, I just wanted to say that Marquez let me know there's now a district board that is in charge of changing the dress code, and I'm the representative for Norte Vista. And other representatives will come from schools within the district, and it will also consist of parents and students. And I'd also like to say thank you for giving this opportunity to tell our school story.